Welcome to the Bourbon Van. I'm Phil.
I'm Julie. Wyoming Whiskey, Independence Rock, Cork Pop. Maybe. Oh, I think it was even louder because it was still taped.
That sounded like a gunshot.
Oh man, I ruined the whole thing. I hope you don't like your labels meticulous.
You know how I like those neat, clean labels? Not gonna get it with this one. Well, let's drink it.
Oh gosh, look at that label.
Okay, that's not gonna...
So sad.
That's gonna look good on the shelf right there. That's what we like to see at the Bourbon Van. Well, we are in Wyoming, and our first stop was the liquor store. Well, fuel, of course. And there was a liquor store nearby. So we popped in and we grabbed this bottle of Wyoming whiskey, and we've had a Wyoming exclusive, which I'm pretty sure this is. Previously, we had Thunder Basin.
Oh yeah, because I love saying Thunder Basin.
It was so good, and that was 7 years aged and 96 proof, I think it was. This one, 8 years aged, 98 proof. So
love it.
We're stepping up in every regard, and we loved that last one. It was so good. I got a hero pour here, good for me.
And I didn't even pour it this time.
And if you're wondering where we're at, we stopped for the night here in Elk Mountain, Wyoming, and that is the historic, I'm gonna talk to the camera, Elk Mountain
Lodge.
Hotel.
Okay.
So the historic Elk Mountain Hotel is behind us. This hopefully historically good Wyoming whiskey, Independence Rock bourbon right here. Again, 98 proof, 8 years aged, and a huge thank you to the state of Wyoming for making whiskey.
Also, if you're a Harvest Host member, that place is a Harvest Host. It was just booked up by the time we looked into it, so keep it on the radar.
Yeah, and if you need to become a Harvest Host, check out the description of this video. We always throw a link in there because it's been a good program for us. It's been fantastic, so definitely check it out if you are an RVer or van lifer and looking for places to camp. This bottle was priced at $88, but it said marked down, so I took it to the counter, $68.50.
I love it.
Right,
Love
and
it.
now we're gonna get onto the nose and do a quick tasting of this to let you know if it was worth every penny of that. So far on the nose, I think it might be.
When do you get a discount?
When you're
When
really
do
good
you get a discount?
when you're good at whiskey shopping.
I love it.
I'm really good at it.
It's very oaky. There is something effervescent about this nose. Maybe a little lemon or
Cola.
something in there. Cola's a good
Yeah,
note.
cola, it's a touch spicy, but in a good way. It's very gentle cinnamon, maybe something like that, and nutmeg, allspice.
It smells deep flavors too. I said
Yes.
effervescent because there is something light on the nose, but underneath, I feel like there's deep, dark flavors that we're gonna find right now.
Cheers.
Cheers. Sorry, I'm just sitting with this for a second, but I got those root beer barrels. Oak and those root beer barrels and that star anise. Very flavorful.
You will not confuse this for not being bourbon. This bourbon is straight ahead, beautiful flavors. There's chocolate here, caramel. It's like the best caramello that you've ever had because it's high quality chocolate, high quality caramel. This is a fun whiskey.
I was just thinking this was a 5-sip, but it's not, so I can just take a sip whenever I feel like it.
No, and with this pour, it could be a 25 sip.
Am I allowed to say, like, it feels a little wild because we're like, it's wild in Wyoming. Like, there is just hundreds of miles of just gorgeous terrain.
Yeah.
Nothing there.
Yeah.
But just gorgeous,
Nobody
gorgeous
there,
hills.
nothing there.
Yeah.
It is beautiful though. It's always one of those places, like the southern part of it is we get on I-80 and we just go across as quick as we can because we're always trying to get to something else.
Yeah.
And then up north, you got Devil's Tower and all the cool places up there that's more scenic and you want to stop at more frequently. But we're finding some beautiful places through here too. They're
Love
just
it.
really far apart.
Yeah, I love it. It kind of makes me want to buy a ranch out here.
The Bourbon Ranch.
Oh. Ooh, that could be our Harvest House. We could finally get the
little bar up and running?
Yeah, the little speakeasy up and running. That actually is not a bad idea.
It's a little too close to the Bourbon Ranch. Trev might have a problem with us taking the Bourbon Ranch.
It's so true. I think you meant Wyoming, and I was like, I'm pretty sure Wyoming and Arkansas are not close, but...
No, not...
But that is a good point.
Yeah, not in any regard.
Man, it's so scenic. I'm just looking at the hills. I'm really enjoying this. I love.
I was gonna say, we haven't talked about the whiskey in 15 minutes.
I know.
You're welcome.
I do love drinking it outside. Like, it's just, there's something really magical about it because you enjoy the whiskey, you enjoy your surroundings, hopefully. It's beautiful out right now. Let's get back to the whiskey though.
Yeah, I will say a couple of things about it. It's a little bit thin. It's not gonna drink super creamy. It's not a problem because the finish still manages to last forever. It's in all the nooks and crannies. The cinnamon that is prevailing on this finish, and it's not an overpowering cinnamon, it's just a nice cinnamon. I think in a lot of ways the chocolate and the caramel and things like that here, it's almost like the intense flavors of an Elijah Craig barrel proof or something like that, or even like a Russell's Reserve single barrel, but proofed down, but you're still getting those huge flavors. I love a sub 100 proof whiskey that delivers this much flavor. I'm enjoying the heck out of this. It's everything that I hoped it would be after we had that Thunder Basin a couple years ago and loved it so much.
Yeah.
This is definitely hitting the spot the same way.
2 for 2 Wyoming whiskey. 2 for 2.
How about that?
I'm just really impressed by the amount of flavors that we're getting in a 98 proof whiskey. Very enjoyable, super drinkable. You get all those sweet bourbon flavors. There are deep, dark flavors here. There's just a lot to unpack. I think they're delicious.
Yeah, I'm getting a little cherry now, maybe even a little bit of the sort of raisin sort of thing coming and going. Really enjoyable, a lot to unpack, and even though it's low proof, a lot of good flavor to find in there. Beautiful job, Wyoming whiskey. And the next thing that I'm getting on the nose here is pot roast, which I think is coming from right back there.
Totally.
Which it is the dinner hour, and that means it's time for us to say from wherever we are.
To wherever you are.
Cheers.
Cheers. That might be a nice change from the chicken salad crackers I've been feeding you.
I haven't minded.